Closed Beta's been over for a while, and the excitement has subsided a little bit. And I want to take some time before the open beta to share some of my thoughts and some of the minor flaws. There wasn't really anything game breaking, in my opinion. There were some small problems, like the vehicle handling seems a bit off, seems a bit unpolished. It's just not consistent, and it's nothing you won't get used to. I mean, the cars, you'll probably get used to that. The bikes, you could get used to. I know I did. The only thing I couldn't get used to were the chopper controls. And I really feel like alternative chopper controls should be implemented. Because now what you do is you flick you swing the stick forward, and the chopper goes down, but fast. So you're gonna crash really, really fucking fast. But if you let go of the stick, you gain altitude, but you lose all your forward momentum. Unless you get it just right in that sweet spot. Then you could go forward and maintain your altitude, and everything was fucking amazing. But the chances of that happening, well, let's face it, you're probably gonna have a better chance of scoring with a three-way with Victoria's Secret models. Well, not maybe the models, but their cousins, or maybe they're like retarded siblings. Maybe they're pets if they have pets. Anyway, so yeah, the overall gameplay felt alright. It's not anything extraordinary. It is a nice change of pace, I gotta admit. Because most of the games we play nowadays just kind of run and gun. And I know the games that you play, like, let's take The Division, for example. I am not comparing these two titles, by the way, because that's just fucking absurd. It's just an example. The Division is a cover-based shooter, but when you go into the dark zone, you don't really utilize the cover. You don't really need to. At least not when you get to the end game. I mean, obviously, yeah, it helps you out, but you don't really have to do it, especially not with all these tank builds. But yeah, I mean, it's nice, getting together with your friends, taking down the cartel. Maybe between you and me pocketing some of that cocaine. And, I mean, the AI seem to be coked out the goddamn tits all the time, so, why shouldn't we? Plus, we're ghosts, nobody's gonna fucking know. But, I mean, when you think about it, the first area we get dropped into is Itaqua, and it's a rural area, and it's not overly difficult. It's pretty easy, even on ghost difficulty, and I know a lot of people will be giving it flack for that, but you need to remember it is a beta. I don't think anybody says beta. If they do, they should say beta, because it's beta. But yeah, for the first province, it is the first area you get dropped into. It's an introduction to the game. Don't expect too much. It's not supposed to be hard. It's just supposed to give you the chance to grasp what the game is about and how all the mechanics work and how your gadgets work. And I know a lot of people out there have been throwing out, Grand Theft Auto or The Division, and I'm not going to compare those two because, like I said earlier, it's just absurd. So the big question is, should you buy the game when it does release? Yes and no. It depends. If you're going to play it the way it's supposed to be played, and you're going to be playing co-op with, up to 4 of your buddies, then yeah, why not? It's fun. You can mess around, you can go tactical, you can go in guns blazing. They have really given you complete freedom. And they might have given you a little bit too much freedom. Because a good example is this whole cover thing. I would have liked to see a button that makes you go into cover and come out of cover. And I know it's kind of a double-edged sword because I don't always like that mechanic. I sometimes feel like if you run up towards a wall, he should automatically get in cover, but sometimes it just doesn't feel intuitive. So that might need some polishing. But those are just minor problems. They're not going to ruin the game for you. And if you're going to play it solo, I can't really say much because I didn't play it solo. I played it in co-op, and I really do feel the game is made to play in co-op. Because from my experience playing with the AI, it somehow just leads to rage fits, as the AI somehow manages to fuck up your strategical advantage. And also, if you're a die-hard Ghost Recon fan, then I'd probably give it the skip. Okay. But I mean, yeah, it's a beta, so expect some minor issues. I mean, devs call demos betas basically, so I'm a little bit scared that it is very close to the final build. I hope it's not, but it probably is. But now we get to the goodies of this video, the open beta. Now, the open beta lands on the 23rd of February, and it extends to the 27th. Now, it's available for preload on the 21st for PlayStation, and I'm assuming Xbox. I'm playing it on PlayStation, so don't quote me on that Xbox and PC. I don't know, but I'm probably right. So for all the people that are on the fence, and for the people that were in the closed beta and felt like Itaqua wasn't enough, I got good news. Because in the open beta, we get to explore 2 provinces. We get to explore Itaqua, and I know people are like, oh, well, we played that in the closed beta. It's going to get so fucking repetitive. God, I fucking hate Ubisoft. Well, shut the fuck up. Wait. Because we get a new area, and that is Mossy Oak. I think I said that right. I'm not 100% sure if I said that right. But anyway, we get to explore a new area. Now, the new area, Mossy Oak, or whatever the... I'm not going to hurt myself trying to explain it, pronounce it. I don't know why I said explain. Anyway, Mossy Oak is to the west of Itaqua, and it has a difficulty rating of 5, so it really bumps up the difficulty scale. Now, I'm not going to say that it is going to be a whole lot harder. We're going to have to wait and see. But from what I've gathered, Mossy Oak is the home of the elite Sicarios. And for the people that don't know, the Sicarios are the guys driving around in Lambos and have this purple color. They're like these elite soldiers. And apparently Mossy Oak is home of their training facilities. So we're to expect heavily fortified bases and expect some encounters that'll be, I'm going to say, a little tougher because I haven't tried it yet. I'm hoping that they're going to be a lot tougher, but I'm just going to say a little tougher for now. Now, of course, like I said earlier, the difficulty level there is just speculation at this point, but I'm kind of guessing it's going to be a little bit harder. Because we did, with my buddy, try and take down some of these purple guys, the Sicarios, and they were harder, a lot harder to take down. And once you take them down, if you alert them, they'll bring in reinforcements, and they'll just keep coming in waves until you run like 50 meters and they completely forget about your existence. So just run away from them, I guess. And I do feel like this was a good idea from Ubisoft to just kind of give us the opposite of the 2 scale, or 1 scale, the opposite of the scales. So on the one hand, we have the rural Itaqua, which is just your basic area with, you know, a little bit of lower level scrubs. And then on the other end, we have these elite soldiers with highly guarded and fortified bases. So I would recommend for everybody that is on the fence and newcomers, and even the people that tried the closed beta, to just go ahead and download the open beta, because the more we are playing it, the more feedback Ubisoft is going to get, and they'll be able to tweak the game a little bit more, hopefully. And I mean, betas are basically all about finding game breaking flaws, like I mentioned earlier, and server stress test. Now, the more people that we get in there, the better kind of test, or the better kind of data they'll be able to collect. I think I've covered what I wanted to cover in this video. Like you guys probably already know, my memory's not that great, but I'm going to assume I covered everything I wanted to cover, and I'll let this video run out with how playing with a buddy can save you from a certain fuck up. SYNV.